All right, so here is another video kind of moving forward in our notes. So the last video that we worked on was, let me take a look. We did factor by grouping, and now we're moving on. Now we're moving on to, well, it says grouping right up at the top there, but now we're moving on to factoring trinomials. All right, now I'm only going to do this one video on factoring trinomials when a does not equal 1. You've seen my videos when a does equal 1, which is basically the little x, find the two numbers. I mean, it's essentially the kind of problems I'm going to move forward in the slide here, but it's essentially, the example 1 type of problems that look like that, or, the types of problems that look, literally where it's just x squared, but no number out in front there. All right, I'm going to be working out example 2, or well, example 2, but I'm also going to be working out the other examples in which a does not equal 1. In that case, in which we have a number in front of our x squared here. All right, we have a number in front of our x squared. Okay, so and this method that I'm going to show you actually works for all trinomials. So if you're forgetting how to if you're forgetting how to factor, when a does not equal 1, even these original ones. So like say, hey, if these are for mostly when a does not equal 1, so like these ones right here. But if you forget the process for how to factor when a does equal 1, so basically one that looks like example 1, then you can always fall back on this option right here, and you should still get the right answer. It's a little bit more work, but it will always get you the right answer, depending if you do the math correct, okay? So going back here, all right, so this is basically what we do. This is essentially factoring trinomials here. So basically what we want to do is factor out a GCF first. So let's just do that. For example 2, so basically factor the GCF. And if you look in example 2, there's not really a GCF we can take out. We can't really divide 2, 13, and 24 by any number other than number 1, but I really don't care about the number 1. Or we can't take any x's out. Okay, so we're kind of stuck there. So we can't take a GCF out. We've already established that our a value is equal to 2, which is not equal to 1. So what we would do is we would take our a value and our c value, in this case negative 24, and we would multiply, I'll write it up here, a times c, we'd multiply that together. Since it's a minus 24, it'd be a negative 24, so it'd be a times c is negative 48. Ah, darn it. I'll write it down here. So it's equal to negative 48, all right? Now, what we do is we kind of set up our little diamond thing, and again, I want to just stress this isn't a required thing for you to do. This is just a tool to help you guys out. It looks like a lot of you guys like using this, but again, don't have to use it if you don't want to. So you got negative 48. That's a terrible looking 48, but I apologize. So you got negative 48 on the top, and then on the bottom, remember, we put our b value, which is the number out in front of the x, which is just negative 13, all right? Now we're looking for numbers that multiply to negative 48 but add to a negative 13. And off the top of my head, I believe those two numbers are a negative 16 and a positive 3, okay? Because again, if you check it, negative 16 times 3, that is equal to negative 48, and negative 16 plus 3 is a negative 13. All right, so we got that there. We got our two numbers. Now what we want to do is we want to take these two numbers and essentially split apart our original b value, the negative 13. But what you basically want to do is rewrite a new equation with a split apart b value there. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite 2x squared, and I'm going to rewrite the negative 24. Those do not change. Your a value and your c value do not change at all. And it's your b value, again, this negative 13, that we're going to split into negative 16x and positive, because it's a positive 3, positive 3x. And we're just going to rewrite that down here. It's going to be 2x squared minus 16x plus 3x, minus 24. And now, kind of going back to the factor by grouping video that we just did, that you may have just watched. From here, it turns into a factor by grouping problem. So what you do is you just put parentheses around the first two terms and then the last two terms. You take out a GCF out of this first parenthesis here. I'm going to write this over here. You take yourself out of 2x. Inside, you're going to be left with an x minus 8. And then in the last parenthesis there, the 3x minus 24, you're going to take out a 3, a positive 3, and inside you're going to be left with x. And then negative 24 divided by 3 is just a negative 8, so that's what you're going to be left with. Your two parentheses are the same exact things. That's what you're looking for. That's your goal. If they're not the same exact things, you need to stop doing what you're doing and check and double check your problem. And then once that is done, from here we write out our two parentheses, our two factors. In this one here, we're going to combine what we had on the outside, 2x, and then plus 3. And then over here, we're going to basically take what we had on the inside for both of them, x minus 8, and just bring it down here. All right. That's our final answer right there. All right, so you notice that I erased the stuff here. Moving on to example number 3. So again, first thing that you want to do is take yourself out a GCF. And if we look at 14x squared minus 30x minus 36, we can see, hey, we can take ourselves out of 2. And then we're left with 7x minus 15x minus, should be 2, 36, it should be an 18. So that's what we're left with. And I got nothing else that I can take out of 7, 15, and 18. I got no x's I can take out, so I am ready to start factoring even further. All right, so we start with, still notice that my a value is not equal to 1. So what I have to do here is I multiply a times, again, take your a value, which in this case is 7, the number in front of your x squared, and multiply it by your c value, which is your constant, number without the variable next to it. 7 times 18, which, sorry about that, 7 times 18 is going to be a negative 126. I'm going to write it down here. And again, if you want to set up your little diamond thing here, you can do that. So it's going to be a negative 126. And on the bottom there, it's going to be a negative 30. Ever right there. So hang on, I'm going to erase this real quick. Try to look a little nicer. All right, so I'm going to go over here actually. So we got negative 126 and then negative 30. Looking for numbers that multiply to negative 126 but add to a negative 130. And if you're finding yourself stuck on that, again, just make sure, set yourself up a table of all the factors of 126, 1 and 2, 126, 2 and 63. Let's see, probably going to be a 3 in there, going to be 3 and 42, nothing yet, nothing yet. Let's see, 126 divided by 4, that doesn't work. 126 divided by 5 won't work. How about 6? 6 and 21. And let's see here. 6 and 21. How about 126 divided by 8? That get nope. How about 126 divided by 9? It'd be 9 and 14. Oh, I just made a mistake here, and you just realized that. Instead of writing the negative 30 down there, I'm going to write the negative 15, all right? So I apologize for that. So sorry about that. So again, make sure when you're taking, when you basically get to your GCF down here, you only worry about what's inside of here. You don't worry about the original problem. Only worry what's inside the parentheses there. So that was a little mistake. I apologize. So, and if you can see here, negative 126 needs to add to a negative 15. I can see that I got 21 and 6. And to get to the negative 15, I'll do a negative 21 and a positive 6. All right. All right, from there, we basically, again, do the same thing we did at the top there. We split apart our b value, our new b value. We still rewrite. I'm going to rewrite this 2 out here. I'm going to write a bracket. It's just still the same thing, all right? Bracket with a 2, with, dang it, 7x squared, excuse me. With a 7x squared. Now, split apart our split apart v values. I'm going to put negative 21x first. And I'm going to do a plus 6x next. Again, just splitting apart. Come on. There we go. It'll just give me negative 21, and then it's going to be positive 6. Oh, my goodness. All right. And plus 6x, then minus 18. Still staying the same there. And then from here, again, we just factored by grouping. 2 sets of parentheses around the first 2 terms. Sets of parentheses around the last 2. I'm going to move it up here because I'm running out of room down here. Still got the 2 out in front. The brackets inside. The first parentheses there, I can take myself out of 7x. I'm left with inside x minus 3. Now look at this last set here. I can take out a positive 6, and I'm left with inside x minus 3. If you notice, you got both of these parentheses right here are the same exact things, so you are on the right track. So we make sure to, now we can write our final answer. We take our GCF, number that we took out first, we put it in front, and then like we did last time, 2 sets of parentheses, combine what we had on the outside, 7x plus 6, and then take this, and then what's on the inside, x minus 3. That right there is it. Okay? All right, let's work out another one here. Let's do example 6. All right, it'll be the last one we work out. All right, example 6 here. So, first thing, look for the GCF. Let's see, 7, 8, and 16. I can't take anything out of those, so what I do is I move on to multiplying my A times my C value, which is going to be 7 times 16. And if we do that there, we're going to get ourselves a 112. And then from there, again, set up your little diamond if that's what you like. Then from there, you find yourself out you put down your B value, positive 8 right there. All right. And then from there, you go 112 right here. So this go the 112, and you find all your factors. All right. If you don't see the numbers that pop out of you right away, just do your factors. 1 and 112. All right. 112 divided by 2, it's going to be 2 and 56. About 112, maybe 3. Nope. Maybe 112 divided by 4, maybe be 4 and 28. Still nothing yet that's popping out to me. Let's go 112 divided by 6, which is no. 112 divided by 7, which is going to be 16. Still nothing yet. 112 divided by 8, which is going to be 8 and 14. 112 divided by 9, nope. 112 divided by 10, that's not going to work. 112 divided by 12, nope. 112 divided by 11, nope. 112 divided by 13, and I've already reached up to 14, which this is a 14, so that's it. So these are all the factors I can work with right here, okay? There's not really any of those numbers that I can add up to 8 there. Now, this is going to happen sometimes. There's going to be times where, hey, I'm checking, let's see, 1 and 112. Well, none of those add up. None of 2 and 56 add up. These don't add up. These don't add up. These don't add up to 8. So if they never add up to 8, I mean, you can't factor it. It's prime, all right? And that's going to happen sometimes, all right? Sometimes you're going to be looking for numbers that you multiply to the 112, which is what we have right here, and try to add to 8, but we look here, there's no numbers that multiply there but add to 8, so that's it right there. All right, so sorry for that was a little bit more discombobulated than the last video. I will be putting out another trinomial video, probably going over a few more of these examples here in just a second. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.